Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. In exactly 1 week, I will be graduated with my bachelor's degree in psychology. And it's just starting to set in, and it still fully hasn't set in yet that I'm actually graduating. But because I'm going to be graduating so soon, I decided that for this whole week, I'm going to do a series, and it's going to be a school survival guide for college students. And it's basically just going to be how you can get to the end of college really quickly and effectively and efficiently. So this is my Declassified college survival guide. Today's topic is units. College is a completely different ball of wax than high school, and if you're just coming out of high school and going into college, you're understanding a little bit of the differences. One of the biggest differences is that in high school, you kind of get told the classes that you get to take, and then you kind of just get to pick from a number of them, and you just have to make sure you fulfill those requirements. In college, you have units that you're supposed to fulfill. And units is basically just this big number for whatever major you're getting. It's basically just a big money sign for the university or the college you're going to, and it's mostly just to fulfill stuff to get your degree. Units are very similar to how they are in high school in the aspect that you have basic what you're supposed to take, and then you get to just choose from each one. However, certain classes have more and less units, so depending on your major and how many you need, you'll have to adjust your classes that you take to the amount of units that you need to get to graduate. On top of it, a lot of times colleges will put caps on how much you can actually take per semester. So like if you come in as a freshman, a lot of times most colleges will say, oh, you can't take more than 11 units for your first semester, and then maybe they'll like up the cap to 13. Some colleges or universities won't even let you go up past 17 or 18 units just because they know that you're going to have such a difficult time, or they just want more money from you is what it really is. Because feasibly you could do 25 units, you'd be really uncomfortable, but you could feasibly do 25 units if you're not working. Now if you are a full-time parent or someone who works full-time and you're going to school at the same time, you're going to want less units. However, that's going to increase the amount of time that you have to be in college. Depending on if you're at a JC or a university, you shouldn't take your units slowly. A lot of times people believe, oh, if I take my units slowly, it'll help me focus on my grades, and it'll allow me to do more with my life, and I'll have more free time, and I'll be able to work more, and all that stuff. That's good and all. However, if you're starting out and you're still young and you're not a full-time worker, you're not a full-time parent, and you're like 18, 19, 20 years old, and you kind of have a part-time job, I would suggest, personally, just cranking out your classes. As painful as it's going to be, and as much as you're not going to have a social life, you're gonna be thankful later. Because when you are, like me, a 21-year-old graduate, and you have literally the whole rest of your life ahead of you, and there are people that are 4 and 5 years older than you who are in classes with you who still are in their sophomore year because they decided to take a break or they took their units really slowly. And there are some friends of mine who are back home who are still in community college because they've been taking 6 and 7 units each semester. And that's fine for some people if you are comfortable with that, but really, the longer it takes you to do your units, the more money you're giving to your school. If you're in a JC, it's different. If you're in a JC, take all the time you want with your units. Do whatever feels comfortable. If you're at a university, you're paying tuition fees that are going to be way higher than at a JC. You're going to be paying for on-campus living if you're living on campus. You're going to be paying for food on campus, which is way more expensive. You're probably going to be eating out a lot more, and you're going to have a little bit more of a social life than you would at a community college. So you're going to be paying for things like movies and going out to dinner and whatever other shenanigans that you and your friends get into. If you're in a community college, take all the time you need. Take all the time that is required of you. If you need to work full-time, then do that. If you are in a university, I would suggest going to part-time unless you need a full-time job to pay for your schooling, in which case you kind of have to go less on the units and kind of just bite the bullet with that. But I would suggest if you're in a university, take as many as you possibly can. The trick that I did to cheat the system is that I started doing community college when I was a senior in high school. And so I took 3 units in my last few months at my high school, and then in the summertime I took 6 units. So then by the time I got into my technical freshman year of college, I was able to do the full 18. Because they cap you at 13 at my community college, and at a lot of community colleges they cap you at 13, And a lot of times, just freshman year in general, they'll cap you at 13 to 15 because they don't want you to get too overwhelmed in your first semester. So that's what I did, and I took the full 18, and then I took 18 again, then 15, then 16, and then my last semester was like 3. So that's something you could do if you're going to community college. If you're going to a university, you kind of just have to suck it up. But you could also try to cheat it again by doing early community college while you're still in high school, because I'm sure that works across the board, because I know other people who have done that just at Cal State schools, and that's worked for them. So that's something you could do. All in all, units are something that is totally different from anything you've ever experienced before, from high school, junior high, elementary, although a lot of schools, from what I'm reading, are kind of going in that direction so that they mold you more towards the university style. But if you've never done units before, it can get a little tricky. But anyway, I wish you all the best of luck if you are enrolling for college soon, if you're going to be starting soon. Leave any comments below on anything you are nervous, excited for, because it's good just to read stuff like that and be encouraged just with other people and even with myself to be able to talk to other people who are going through similar experiences, because I'm going to the grad program now, so I'm a little bit nervous about going into it, but I'm also really excited. So it's good to read that kind of feedback so you can identify, and so you can have somebody there that can just relate with where you're at. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later.